every other day talking about,
And
check this out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, relax.
And I know you guys support because I didn't know any of y'all. I was just like, I love y'all shit, y'all culture. Hold on, let me send it. So yeah, much appreciated.
We fucks with it. You feel me? It's pure love. You feel me? And it goes around. You feel me?
Now before I leave, y'all gonna get uncomfortable because I'm gonna gas y'all up. Because seriously, like I don't really like I don't have a click or nothing. I just really drop my shit and then let it be. So it's like it's really, you guys have played like a big part. Real shit.
Oh man, you feel me? In a world where these niggas is clicking up but cannot be legit. You feel me?
We buy ourselves, but with support. Let's go.
Oh man, that's hilarious. I hope everybody is feeling good. Salute to everybody sliding through the chat. Salute to everybody that's listening on Apple, Spotify, whatever, you know, what you said last week, Ben, whatever your platform of choice is, you feel me? Yeah, man. Special guest in the building. I'm gonna let y'all know right now before we get started. CJ is not here. My boy feeling a little under the weather. My man's had to leave work early. Try to sleep it off, and it's not working. So you feel me? We're gonna holler at my man's next week. By the way, you feel me? If you ain't tapped in, you feel me? If you ain't tuned in, if you ain't staying dangerous, you need to tap in with the Public Enemies on Patreon. It's a new episode of the Extras out. You feel me? Me, CJ, Ben, we just dropped that this morning. So if you know what I'm saying, missing your fix to CJ, pause, you feel me? If you're feeling that way, check out it on Patreon. You feel me? New episode, do your thing. But we are in the building, you feel me, with Adrian Hernandez of Unlikely, you feel me? You got hella jobs, I feel like, you feel me? You do the radio, you know what I'm saying? You be all around, you feel me? Like, I love seeing you move, you feel me? And it was a pleasure, you feel me, getting to tap in and meet you, you feel me, at WrestleMania weekend, you know what I'm saying? So I salute you, and I thank you for making time, you feel me, to hop on and kick it with us for a minute, you know what I'm talking about? But my boys in the building, you know what I'm
saying? Thank you, bro. Thank you. After my mini little tour, I was in New York, I went to Forbidden Door, I went to the SmackDown in Madison Square Garden, and then I flew to Toronto. Had to use the passport finally as a grown-ass man at age 30. Finally use my passport, go to Toronto, land 15 minutes after the Not Like Us video. We'll get into it later, but we went to Money in the Bank. Now we're back in Vegas where it's 120 degrees, but I'm glad to be here. I told you guys before we started the show, I'm moving. I'm getting myself a crib, getting out of this apartment. This is the final thing I'm doing with this camera in this room, and it's a pleasure to join you guys because I told you I'm gonna gas you up the entire episode. A lot of my content doesn't get the eyeballs it does without the support that you guys have given it throughout these past 2 to 3 years that I've been going heavy with the wrestling shit. So salute to all of y'all that make your guys' platform what it is today. Salute to y'all for real, and thank you for having me.
I appreciate you, bro. That was love, bro. You feel me? I'm talking about, but hey, man, I'm gonna give it right back because listen, it's the quality of your content. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're dumbass relatable, and we appreciate that about you. You feel me? So like, it gotta get out there. You know what I'm saying? One way or another, without us, it's gonna get out there anyway. You feel me? So salute to you for.
Hey, let's CVV know. Let's CVV know. No, I'm playing. Let me stop.
Hey,
relax,
yeah,
relax,
man.
But I'm not. But relax, but no, I'm being serious. But still.
Hey, is he on the list? Is he
no.
Just,
this list,
not that list, not that list. I'm thinking like,
he's on the list of he's the top tier. You feel me? He's numero uno. You know what I'm saying?
He's that guy.
And I love to compete. That's all I say. But it's all love. There's a lot of there's like a I don't know what it is, bro. But like, we all competing, right? We all want eyeballs on their stuff. But me winning doesn't mean that you can't win. You winning doesn't mean that I can't win. And credits to Chris. Actually, in Toronto, like we talk the most that we have at some of these events. And he used to do TV in Cleveland, which was weird because I grew up in Cleveland, and like I saw him on the news, but I didn't know who he was. He was just a newscaster. And 10 years later, I'm like, oh snap! Wait a minute. So no, salute to him. But you know, we aiming for number 1 too. You remember when Mac Miller, rest in peace, J. Cole and Kanye dropped the albums on the same day. What was it? Yeezus. What was Born Sinner, and then watching movies with the sounds off.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was dope because all three of them dudes was on different levels. Mac was indie, J. Cole was on the rise, and Kanye was Kanye. So I ain't afraid to drop the interview the same day as CVV, but that's what it is, baby. It's for the sport. It's for the love of the game.
Go crazy.
Straight up.
I love
Straight
it,
up.
dog. Hey, man. And with that started, let's go ahead and hit the button and get the show started. I'm with it.
Tell 'em. I probably send your wish to give me some chicken. If you ain't knowing, love, if you listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, people with jobs, people without jobs, middle class, upper class, high class, all that. I'm talking about cats, snakes, chickens, ducks, elderly people, and twerkers. We present to you another edition of the Public Enemies podcast. What episode is this? 313? 313?
Let me see.
313? 314?
You say whatever it is, I believe it. Say whatever it is, I
Exactly.
believe it.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, numbers be lying. You know what I'm saying? They say men lie, women lie, numbers don't, but numbers do be lying. You feel me? Y'all know it's bots out there. They be doing all crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was for, don't even worry about it. We'll get to that later. You know what I'm talking about? I go by the name, oh my God, Graham. The Waco kid is in the building. You know what I'm talking about? What's up with my boy? How you doing, bro?
Bro, I'm great. I'm fantastic. You know, I'm praying for CJ. The real JM said, yeah, he got dysentery, bro. You like good. Pirate's disease, whatever you say. Like, you know, last time he had what was it, scurvy? So, you know, pray for CJ, pray he gets a better diet. We'll figure this out.
We'll figure this out, man. I had to give you a moment to get your shit off because last time when you wasn't here, CJ kind of spent the whole episode giving you just different ailments and all of that. So I figured it was an opportunity for you to get back at him. As we did.
Listen to this shit. At one time he saying like I got smallpox. I was like, hey.
Yeah, he was on your line. I'm not gonna lie to you. He was on your bumper. It wasn't even fair, but you know what can you do? You wasn't here, so. Man can't defend himself. I probably could have defended you a little bit more, but hey, man, you a grown man. You would have heard it. You know, you felt the way you felt. Like we said, Adrian Hernandez is in the building, my boy. Like we just mentioned, just got back from Toronto, did Forbidden Door weekend, everything like and getting ready to move on and get you a new spot. I just want to say congratulations once again because hey, moving on up to the east side, you know what I'm saying? To the big, hey man, hey, salute to my dog Banks. You feel me? What's up with my boy? You feel me? In the building. I salute you. I appreciate you, brother. But Adrian, what's going on, man? Tell me about this Toronto trip. Tell me about like how was this was like you said, you had to put your passport to use. So this is the first time you've been to Toronto?
Yeah, first time I've been to Toronto. So it started off, luckily, shout out to my sister who lives in the Bronx with my niece for the longest time. It's been real cool. My niece she's 6 years old. Yeah. One time she came to visit and I showed her a match. It was Bianca Belair, and she seemed to be really interested in that. But that's all I showed her. I wasn't trying to push it on her like my son, where I'm forcing him to be a fan.
Hey, look at this.
Long story short, she'll call me every time we FaceTime. She got a Bianca Belair toy. She got this and that. So for the longest time, I was like, yo, I need to take her to a show. And Madison Square Garden was coming up. You know, where Paul Heyman got through the table. With Solo and all that stuff. And I was like, yo, we're going to try to make this happen. July 4th, I was off for the week with work at the radio station. I was like, I'm going to take a day off. We're going to pull up. Luckily, the flights worked out where I landed in the afternoon, was able to get to their house and was able to make it right in time, 5 minutes before the lights went off to go live on Fox to take her. And I had never been to Madison Square Garden either. So it's a bucket list. There's certain venues that I want to experience wrestling with because you see it on TV and it's so crazy. So to be able to take her, I was like, yo, I'm good. I'm great. And the SmackDown was fire too. So to be able to do that and then go to Long Island for Forbidden Door, any chance I get to see Swerve in person, Will Ospreay, and then they're going up against each other, that was tight. And I was like, you know, let me learn about New Japan because I don't watch everything. I got a lot of stuff going on. But I was like, let me experience that, especially the fan base, which was great. That match was incredible. Spent some time in New York. Shout out to my sister, yo. She got a backyard and a porch and like a what's it called with the fire? When you make marshmallows? Why can't I'm
Fire
tired.
pit.
Yeah, little fire. No, she got the fancy joint with like the little clicker that goes instantly. I was like, you doing really good.
She got like
so
the smokeless one, like the
yeah,
Snoop Dogg
and I know her rent's like $5,000. It's New York, so I was like, yo, I'm so proud of you.
Hey,
So that
he said,
was lit.
he said, sis got a large house and a dog house in a backyard. Even her dog house got a backyard. You feel me?
The basement, our basement had multiple rooms. So yeah, we spent the week there and then we flew to Toronto. I wanted to see what the vibe was. And then to get to like the important part. So I landed on July 4th, very un-American to leave on July 4th and land in Canada. Landed at 7:15. And for some reason, I don't know, my sister had me inspired. For the first time, I bought the stupid ass Wi-Fi for $10, even though the flight from New York to Toronto was $10. But I saw that Kendrick dropped the video. The problem with this internet service was that you couldn't play a video. So like everything was loading. Like if you're on Twitter, on social media, you're going on websites, read, everything was loading fast. As soon as you click video, shit wasn't working. So I was like, yo, Kendrick just dropped. Thankfully, we landed 15 minutes later. I watch it and I'm like, this is nuts. I go to get my Uber. I go through security, all that stuff. Like that probably 15 minutes from the plane to my Uber. I heard that song off of people's phones. 7 people. 2 of them
in
crying.
the 6?
2 of them crying. You could tell they was bummed out. The other 5 were like, this is nuts and happy as hell. So like just in that 15 minutes, in clubs, in venues, because downtown Toronto is super lit. It has traffic, like people walking, people on the subway, the trains, cars, like everything's popping, the brunch spots, like everything is popping, right? That was played in clubs. I heard it walking down the street. It was being played. So it's Nav City. I checked in with him to make sure I was good. That's who I said to, because it said Drake City before, bro. I said tap, tap, tap. Am I good? He said you cool. Because I was like, this ain't a city anymore, bro. This is wild.
Oh my god, that is crazy.
I checked in with Nav instead.
Shout out to Nav. This is the first time and probably the last time that is ever going to be said on this program.
Never say that. What's going on?
That is great, man. So, man, I don't know. Things are changing in the landscape of hip hop. I don't know what's going on. Hey, Drake will be completely fine. But I just feel like in some cases you just gotta take your L, man. And this is one of those times, man. And to the victor goes the spoils. You feel me? Damn, it's unfortunate though.
High power. Shout out to Kendrick, TDE, Top Dog, Black Hippie. You already know.
Oh God, big West Side shit. You know what I'm saying? But all right, man. Let's get into some wrestling conversation and transition, because I know, of course, the majority of you guys are here for that. But as we mentioned, you know what I'm saying, your Toronto trip, Money in the Bank was this weekend. The biggest news, in my opinion, to come out of this week, regardless of as crazy of a week as it has been the announcement of John Cena and his retirement, this idea of this retirement tour. You got to speak to the man. You know what I'm saying? After the announcement, that was wild. You know what I'm saying? Got the little baby, got to throw the little plug in there, you know what I'm saying, for the pod. By the way, John Cena, if you're watching this, I know you follow the pod, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you tap in with my mans, you know what I'm saying? Get on the pod, do the interview.
Yo, respond to the DMs, bro, because I messaged him. I was like, yo, man, what the fuck you doing, bro? There's no hit back, no reply. I was like, all right, you saving it all for the press conference. I get it. Okay.
But this whole idea of John Cena's retirement, he announced that 2025 is going to be his last year as an in-ring performer. At first, I know we was all super surprised and super caught off guard, because it's like, hold on, what you doing with this weird ass t-shirt on? And then why you saying that, you know what I'm saying, like you finna shut it down? I know he been saying in the interviews for the last couple of years, hinting at, you know, the idea and the possibility of winding down by the age of 50, but I believe he's 47 right now. So I thought maybe we was going to do it. I thought maybe it was going to be, they was going to try to do like a milestone thing of like WrestleMania 45, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Hold on, John, do 51, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you could another year, something like that. But here we are, 2025. He's going to wrestle the entire duration of the year. I believe he mentioned at the press conference it's going to be about 30 to 40 dates. I'm going to start with you, Adrian. Like, of course, as you got to speak to the man, like what are your thoughts on this whole ordeal? John Cena kind of hanging up the boots or the jorts rather. And what do you envision for his 2025 year?
Honestly, I kind of first off, I did see the picture that he took at the airport with a fan. And I know that picture dropped like a couple hours before Money in the Bank. So, getting into the venue and stuff, like I saw it, but a lot of people didn't. So everyone was surprised, like, yo, what is he doing here? When it comes to the decision to retire and to do it out, like to play it out through the end of next year, I kind of love it, man. Like, I'm kind of sympathetic, bro. Yeah, as yesterday I saw Team USA, LeBron and Steph play on the team for the first time and realized that, this is LeBron's last Olympic run and he about to be next after Cena. It's cool for Cena to get the, the Derek Jeter, the Tim Duncan treatment. Like, I want gifts at every venue that he visits, his last time in Chicago, his last time wherever, whatever cities, and give him something. And like, it's cool to see him get his flowers, like the Sting, the way that the Sting stuff was set up, like that was beautiful to me. And not to jump ahead, but I'm glad that he's committed. I'm glad that he's trying to do this throughout the entire year. I'm glad that he cleared it up at the press conference, because what I got from it was that he was going to retire in Vegas. Like when he was in the ring, that's what I got. I was like, oh, he's doing this till WrestleMania. So we're going to get that Royal Rumble run, that 3 month, from January to April. And then that's it. But I'm glad that he's like, no, we're going to play it out throughout the year. There's a lot of different stories that they could tell. I mean, he brought it up. He hasn't won in a long time. So what if they set up for him to finally get that last title run? And there's a lot of different things that they can play with. But ultimately, like, how many wrestlers have the option to do something like this? We haven't seen this. And if there's anyone to do it, it should be him. And the landscape the way it is, whether it's talent that's been there and that are veterans like a Cody Rhodes, that's a matchup that we want to see, or all the new talent, Braun, Carmelo, Ilya, whoever you want to do. There's enough time to tell a lot of different stories. So if you want to treat this like that U.S. title run where he was facing all these different names and putting on classics and doing these moves we didn't know that he had, like, I think it's a beautiful thing. And I'm like very excited for next year with the Netflix. And like, TKO is not messing around. They're trying to swing for the fences in this first year and like put their stamp on this. And John Cena just adds on to that.
Ben, what do you think?
Yeah, when it was announced, it caught me off guard, and then like what you said, I thought it was gonna be like a 3 months run. I was like, man, there were a lot of dream matches that we wanted to see you in, but then when he cleared it up that it's gonna be a year-long run, I was like, okay, so we can get like the matches like with Gunther and stuff like that. And also, I thought it would be a really fun idea for him to get the Intercontinental Championship, because that's the last title that he, has been eluding him like his entire career, something like that. Or to go after that world title, something like that. I know he better have a belt somewhere in his last run.
I don't know why I just thought about Sheamus not being an Intercontinental Champion yet either, and I don't know. Maybe
I think Brock Lesnar was the other guy too, who like that was the last belt that none of them have had. Those three.
Now let a black guy get it. He'll come for it.
Oh, Brock Lesnar ain't never been a tag team champion. He ain't never had no U.S. title. He don't care about none of that.
Mid-card camaraderie teams.
Yo, Graham, can we talk about his final opponent?
Yeah, let's do that. I mean, what do we think? Who do we think that should be? A lot of people are saying it should be Randy Orton. Some people have the opinion it should be, some people have the opinion it should be, an up and comer or somebody younger that, he can give back. And Adrian, what are you thinking?
Look, we did the up and comer thing at WrestleMania 39 with Austin Theory.
Yeah.
It was heinous because those Make-A-Wish kids, like that was criminal. Like that was some bullshit. Okay. So we've seen that. And again, I'm going to go back to the Sting thing that changed my perspective, because everyone talks about you got to get back and push it because wrestling doesn't end and you got to give it forward. Like, no, you can, like, if he faces Randy Orton at WrestleMania and they get to close that out how they want and close the final chapter at storied rivalry of a damn generation, however they want to do it, they can do it. If he wins 17 there, breaks the record at Mania, and then leaves it in the ring, we can do it. The only thing I don't want him to do is to come up with a new belt like The Rock when he came out with the People's Champion belt. Like, I don't want him to come out with just a spinner belt for no reason. That's the only thing I don't want. So I kind of prefer to like let him stand on his greatness. Like, if he wants to win the title, if he wants to close it out with Randy, this isn't a situation that I think has to be like, yo, you have to face Braun and you have to lose to Braun or Melo or whoever to pass the torch, in my opinion.
I'm with you on that. He did mention that he's not into like politicking and like asking for opponents or anything like that. So it's like whatever they come up with, he's kind of with it. And I think another interesting layer of this was he mentioned that they had conversations about him, possibly, hanging it up or whatever. And he said that it was WWE's idea to do it now. And like you said, TKO is really trying to put their stamp in the game and let y'all know within this first year that they have plans laid out for the future. They're telling you now, boom, 2025, you've got John Cena's retirement tour. So you have that to look forward to. 2026, you've got 2-night SummerSlam. All right, boom. After that, we've got this whole, we've still got the Saudi thing. People, don't worry about that. It's still there. It's money. It's income. Your opinion don't matter. It really don't. But then they also got this, they got this partnership with Lucas Oil Stadium. You know what I'm saying? So they've got things that they're lining up to tell you, okay, boom, 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 boom. And whatever the roadmap is, like Triple H said, the GPS that they use with the creative to get there. I don't know. I definitely want to see Cena in the ring with somebody like Ilya. I want to see him in the ring with Braun Breaker. I definitely want to see those matches, and I'm not of the opinion, really. Oh my God!
I'm sorry, my son just got home from school.
Hey, what's happening, young boy?
Yo, shout out to Sire. First time on camera. Sire, what? You're not gonna say anything?
Hold on, I got you.
Say
OVO.
OVO.
Say OVO.
OVO.
I got you, Sire. Let's do this.
That fuck 'em.
Papa, I gotta finish this and then we're going to swimming.
It's fire.
All right, I love you.
Hey man,
you want to do a bloodline one and that's it? Come here.
Let's do it.
Do a bloodline one.
If we all gotta do it, we gotta do it, and then let's make it live.
Love you. I'll see you in a little bit, okay? So my son's here. My fault. We good.
Nah, we good. That was fire. I love the cameos. You know what I'm saying? That was fire. Listen, we got 2 for 1. You know what I'm saying? We got 2 guests for the price of 1 today. You know what I'm saying? So we came up. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, you know what I'm saying? It's good. It's love. I forgot where I was at. What was we talking about?
I want to say one thing too about Cena real quick. I just think we also need to remember, because it's stuck in my head that he's done at Mania, and he's done. Is he just done?
December.
What's the? I don't know the calendar next year, but like, is he done at the last SmackDown or Raw? Like, whatever's closest to the 31st of December.
That
so like,
maybe that show at Madison Square Garden after Christmas.
Yeah, like the show that they always do. Like, so that kind of changes the trajectory of what they can do. So it kind of like, it doesn't have to be as dramatic. It will be probably because they want to close out with a bang, but it kind of opens up the playbook a lot, which again is super dope. They're like, let's do this for a year.
I'm listen, they should do like a something on Netflix and make it,
stream the house show on Netflix. I think used to in the network when they did like, they went to Japan and they did the Beast in the East thing. They could.
Why not?
Peacock ain't gonna say, or Netflix ain't gonna say no to that.
Mr. All Days Off says Logan Paul needs to retire Cena. That'd be that'd be a lot of heat, but I think it would be the wrong kind of heat. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right, John Cena, man, hanging up the boots. How many years has this guy been wrestling? Hustle, loyalty,
22 in the WWE at least.
He did like he did all pro wrestling out here in like San Jose for a little bit before he went over to OVW.
How old are you guys, by the way?
I'm 36, P. I'm like 10 years
26.
older than you. You feel me?
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're like, I'm 31. We're on the same range. I was just gonna ask because like it's funny like how we feel about him, because there's still people who really hate his ass from the Cena Sucks era. And to me, I was one of those kids because I really got like what cemented my wrestling was like 2011. And all that Punk stuff. And even though I knew that I was paying WWE by buying the Cena Sucks shirt, I was like, yo, I need one. But like, he really earned my respect with him coming back and like really going against all these dudes and putting on matches with Styles and all that stuff. So it's like, I was like, yo, I put him over The Rock. I was like, yo, his longevity, like, so it's just, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm being honest, like the longevity and him coming back. Like, I was like, yo, that's dope.
Yo,
listen, he was on top. Go ahead. I was just gonna say like
go ahead.
No, you good. I'll remember.
Being polite. Okay. All right. All right. So like it was, and the other thing that I liked about like Cena, like whenever he stepped away, he would always make sure like he kept his foot in the water some type of way, whether it was a match, whether it was an appearance. He wasn't like, yo, I'm just leaving for like 3 years and I'm coming back. He stayed true to that whole thing where you talked about The Rock. It's like, oh, you leave them high and dry. You don't come back and say nothing to him. Like he like if I come to like even if I'm announcing the attendance, I came and I saw y'all, like that kind of thing.
And he smoked The Rock too, by the way. Like I hate to admit it. The Rock is the biggest reason why I have confidence as a fat dude. Cena still smoked his ass, bro. And it wasn't just the damn the permanent marker. Like I asked Cena at the press conference, yo, you gonna freestyle one time? Even that last freestyle in Cleveland where he's like, if I'm Kung Pao chicken, you Miami chicken shit or something like that. I was like, yo, I mean, he smoked him, bro. I'm sorry.
Yo. That is the rivalry that bridged the gap between me and my brother, got him back into wrestling, and he came back. He's like, "Yo, this John Cena dude is ass." I was like, "Fuck you." This man has been putting in the work. You weren't here for all that. You weren't here for the manga matches. You weren't here for the JBL shit. I was like, "Fuck all that."
What was the Meltzer rating of those matches though?
Like 4.3. No 5-star matches.
I could have put him on the list. That's who I forgot. Anyway,
listen, Cena's greatness, if you want to measure it by the guys that were at the top of the game, there's nobody that did what he did and that the company put the ball in their hands longer than him. He was on top, longer than Hulk Hogan. You feel me? Longer than The Rock. Longer than Austin. We're talking about like 15 years of just solid John Cena, never give up. Osama bin Laden has been compromised to a permanent end.
That's a crazy thing you could put on the resume. That's crazy.
It's just etched into my brain. I can't believe he did that.
I don't want to hijack the show. That's terrible words when you're talking about Osama. But I just want to say that like Cena, though, those two things I didn't like. His height has not reached what Cody's been able to do, like being the top guy and like getting that love from everyone, in my opinion. And two, there was that phase where he was kind of pulling the Drake and attaching himself to everything that was popping. Case in point, Zack Ryder. Remember when Zack Ryder was really doing his thing, he attached himself to him. And there was a couple moments where he was pulling the Drake, but he redeemed himself, bro. Yo, bro, he had that match with AJ Styles at the Alamo Dome. Them fools didn't leave the ring. They were wrestling for 50 minutes and put on a classic. So he has the resume, but there was moments, and it's like Cody, like he hasn't reached what Cody could do. They wish they could have, but Cody, like it's another level, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, man. Well, Cody's one of those matches, maybe one of those programs that we might be able to see. You know, my man is trying to politic for it and make it happen backstage, you know what I'm saying? Probably live and direct. He probably got a burner account right now trying to start a We Want Cody revolution for the John Cena Cody match. I'm telling you. Anyways, salute to John Cena. I'm excited for this run. They're going to make a lot of money, a lot of T-shirts. And it's gonna be a lot of dope matches. So we'll see what happens. I wonder how many matches he'll actually do as we close this one out. Because it's like 30, 40 dates, cool. But how many matches are you gonna wrestle?
Does he do house shows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Last time he came back, when he came back and he was like teaming with LA Knight and they did like the Fastlane pay-per-view and stuff, that like 2-month run of SmackDowns, he was doing the dark matches. Like he wrestled Montez Ford. And I was like, that's dope, because like that's a matchup that's a 2K matchup that you don't see in the game. So he did do the dark matches like for the SmackDowns that he was at. So I mean, I think he's that type of dude that he's gonna try to get in the ring as much as possible.
We'll see. We will see. Real quick, couple things of note. Just because the conversation was flowing, I just wanted to run through that. But small package news, real quick. What's your man's name? Minoru Suzuki suffered a concussion this past weekend at the Tenryu Project event on the 6th. That looks like they're going to have to push back his match with Chris Jericho for the World Championship. Salute to the learning tree. So that'll happen sometime soon, but get well soon to Suzuki. On the WWE end of things, they announced that October 5th, they are bringing back the classic Bad Blood pay-per-view event. That's going to be live and direct from the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. There was an ad with Cody Rhodes and Metro Boomin, where they were doing like a stakeout outside of the arena. It appears that that's going to be a series, as they showed the to be continued at the end of the ad there. So Bad Blood coming back. You ready for a Hell in a Cell match, Adrian? Because I'm assuming that's where we're going.
I'm with it. Like it feels different when it's not forced in the name of the pay-per-view. I love to see people like do side quests in their life that are like really lit, with Metro being a part of the Spider-Man. And then like it was cool because I think when like that dropped, Metro posted the NWO title, right? He just posted the picture of the belt. So it's like, oh no, he fucks with wrestling. So for him to be able to do this, it's like, yo, this is cool because this is genuine. This isn't them just picking the name because it's Atlanta. So let's get Metro and Future. And even the little commercials like, hey, you're on the tour bus, I'm on tour, you're on tour. And like you said, to be continued. And for them to throw something in the calendar, it's like, all right, that's tight. And we'll see. They've been kind of doing only the big shows in the US and then doing all these other pay-per-views overseas. So America, we got another one to go to because our options were slim. It was like Philly, Cleveland, and that was it so far for the year. So it should be dope. And also, like you talk about rivalries that you talk about Hell in the Cell, like Drew Punk, that could be in there. They got multiple options. They got multiple things that can go. Rhea and Liv. So like there's options that like genuinely deserve to have that stipulation and not forced where we have to have it 4 times because it's the name of the pay-per-view. So I'm with it.
Yeah, and I think this will be a situation where there won't be like a Raw Hell in a Cell match and a SmackDown Hell in a Cell match, or like a men's Hell in a Cell match and a women's. I think they'll just focus on like one program and heat that up to the point where it's going to be, it's going to boil over to where they're going to have to do something like this. And I like that idea rather than, like you said, just for the sake of it being, the name of the pay-per-view or whatever. You feel me? I want to switch gears real quick here for a moment because I want to talk a little bit about AEW. Dynamite was last night. I thought that show was amazing. The trajectory of Dynamite's ratings has been a little underwhelming as of late. However, I think with what they're doing with some of these summer programs, they're kind of starting to heat up a little bit. And I'm wondering, as we kind of go through the conversation of what AEW has been doing as of late, I'm wondering, and for the chat, I want you guys to chime in as well. How do I say this? Is AEW, do you think these situations are happening organically to whereas these matches are being booked and these storyline progressions are taking place because that's a part of what the natural story is? Or do you believe it's somewhat of hot shotting because of the underwhelming angle, the underwhelming numbers, and of course the looming WBD deal that's supposed to be coming up here soon?
I mean, it's tough to say. Only because when Toni and Mariah, when they were like put together, it was like, oh, this is inevitable. This is being put together for the fallout. That being said, Hey, bro, sometimes you're going to have McDonald's and sometimes that McDonald's hits. Like, it was fire. It was well done. This has been spaced out. She won the tournament. She went through all that. The matches were great. That ending was spectacular. Obviously, it's been weird to me, right? Because I thought Will and Swerve would do All In. And then I thought Swerve and Danielson would do Wrestle Dream because it's in their hoods for Swerve and for Danielson. So we're getting both of those a little bit early. And I mean, I'm with it. Like I'm getting what I want. I don't have MJF as like a face that like is cool, but you're not using your dude to the best of the abilities. I need this man talking shit and being angry, and that's what we're gonna get. And now we have someone in Will that's like the best wrestler in the world, in my opinion. And he's talking shit back. Like that line last week or yesterday where he was like, yo, man, like he didn't give the money to somebody who just buries the company. Like that's real shit. I can see someone having that perspective. So, and you have this talent pool and it's like, what are you gonna, how are you gonna, I don't know, man. The AEW has had some struggles telling stories, but some of the stories that they're telling now are great, in my opinion. And I'm glad that we're on this road. And I'm glad like people can say what they want with Swerve, and it's been a slow burn. Like it is what it is, bro. We're not gonna get like a just something incredible every week. Things need time to build, and that's what they've done with Swerve in his title run, in my opinion. Some of the things that was odd to me was Samoa Joe being put through the wall or whatever. And I understand that they did it because of the Twisted Metal season that they're taping, but I was just like, we could have had more stakes. Like if we're gonna have a match like this, you just can't like just have it. It was a cool moment or whatever, but some of it's like I kind of wanted to be prepared for this, but it is what it is. But I think AEW in general, like next week's gonna be a fucking pay-per-view level ass show. I'm not complaining about that. People are like, why are you doing this on TV? I'm like, what the what? What do you mean?
It's like, listen, me as a fan, it's not my responsibility to worry about what they're going to do down the line. You know what I mean? Like if they want to hot shot programs, matches, angles without giving them proper build, then that's what they want to do. It's not my responsibility to be like, oh, but you should build to this and have this match at Wrestle Dream because like you said, they both from the Pacific Northwest and it would just mean so much. And listen, I don't give a fuck. I want to see the match, whatever the fuck you want to book the match. I'm not tripping. You know what I'm saying? But I think some of the stories that they are telling right now are really compelling. And the fact that I said it last week on this show, this Toni Storm and Mariah May thing was set in place literally from the moment that Mariah May stepped foot into the company. And for her to go through the trouble or to go through the manipulative, you know what I'm saying, mindset of, okay, how do I get close to her to, you know, get close to the championship and be the one to take her down. You know what I'm saying? And she went so far as to become her protege and get the support of Toni Storm to say, I want you to win this tournament and I want you to face me because as my protege, this is how it should be. You feel me? And for that whole thing to basically blow up in her face after Toni, you know what I'm saying, beat Willow, she wins this, and like just the shot of Toni, as bloodied as she was, made Mariah May look like, I don't know, man. For better choice of words, I don't know, a fucking psychopath. You know what I'm saying? Like
it was great. It was so quick, bro.
It was amazing.
She grabbed it and it's time for action, bro. There wasn't a second. There wasn't a delay. That shit just happened, and they played it off perfectly. Like some people were disturbed. Like that's tight. And like, look at the women's division. That's not the only story going around. And there's not just one. Even Willow and Stat, I could argue, like, yo, there should be a bigger emphasis. Number one, because they're both incredible. And you need Willow on the TV whenever because she's a fucking star. And so is Statlander. But like, there's a lot of stuff going on. And for them to choose Toni and Mariah and Britt and Mercedes was before that. They closed the final 30 minutes was them, those two segments. And it's like, yo, and they deserve it. Like, that's what's popping, and we want to see that. And that scene, like that stuff, that ending, it was perfect. It was like a movie. It's like becoming whatever Batman villain. You saw it in real time.
It was crazy. Ben, your thoughts on this Toni Storm, Mariah May thing, closing out Dynamite, and of course leading into All In. Go.
You remember how I said last week where I was like, yeah, this is getting like come on, man, pick up the pace with it. I was like, yo, man, the Mercedes and Britt Baker storyline is looking like it's the better of the two. I just want to walk back my statement just a tad, just a little bit, because now I'm like, oh shit, with the visuals and the way that they played it off, because I'm thinking like, it's just gonna be some regular like attack or whatever. We might see this like maybe at the contract signing for the match or anything like that, but it was like, nah, straight to the shit. And the fact that when they even continued it backstage after, because they had like an extra video on AEW socials of them asking Mariah, like, yo, why was you doing that? What happened? She just stonewalls and walk right past him. And Toni walks back. Well, she kind of like falls back, crawls back there, and just like passes out on the ground. I was like, this is top tier shit. It really is. I'm like, I didn't expect it, because like this storyline has been going from Thanksgiving to now. So I kind of got like some lag on. I was like, come on, man. But now I'm like, okay, now we stepping in the high gear. I'm here for it.
I think there was a little bit of lag on it because it took them a while to kind of figure out like the Toni Storm, like the in-ring aspect of her character, and like find an opponent that kind of matched up to whereas the matches would kind of feel as good or as big as the angles and the build and the promos, because it took a minute to kind of find that balance for her. And listen, this is all going to culminate at All In London, Wembley this year, second time that they're going back there, along with Swerve defending against Bryan Danielson, and not Hangman Page, what some of us thought that maybe, they were going to bring that back around and, close out that angle, maybe with a Hangman Page title win. But maybe this closes out, the pay-per-view, the Bryan Danielson championship win en route to his, full-time retirement, rather. I don't know. There's so many things that they could do and so many twists that they've allowed themselves to work themselves into with this, some of the summer programs that they're and stories that they're trying to tell. I'm very interested to see how this plays out, because Bryan Danielson has stated multiple times that he doesn't necessarily want to be the AEW World Champion. And in my opinion, so what?
It's damn bad, bro. Sorry.
It is what it is, man. Ben, but were you expecting this? Bryan Danielson to beat Hangman and for this to be the match?
I kind of really wasn't. I was expecting them to do like Hangman Page. When they brought him out, I was like, okay, we're gonna get the last match in this rivalry or whatever. Maybe Hangman gets it. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. I didn't expect Bryan Danielson to win. CJ did. CJ wanted me to let everybody know that he had some ideas too. He be saying shit. He be predicting shit too. So salute. So CJ saw this coming. Yo, facts.
Big action.
He saw this coming a mile away. But as for Bryan Danielson winning the belt, I'm at the side with him. Like, I don't think he needs it. I think of him in a way like when Shawn Michaels came back in 2002 and he won that one world title and didn't touch it anymore after that. He was like, yo, I don't need the title. He doesn't need the title. But if you feel like if he doesn't win the title at Wembley, does this hurt his AEW career? Is this damaging in the way possible? Exactly.
Well, I mean, hurt is not the right word, but I think it's important, not for him. I think it's important for AEW that for them to have like a screenshot of one of the best wrestlers of a generation holding that world championship. And
or one of their titles at least.
Right? But they did it with Sting. They let him retire with the belt. So why not do it to, you know what I'm saying? And then you could do, what do they do really good with? They love to do tournaments and they're always bangers. So do it over again and give it back to Swerve and let him win the tournament again, or whatever the case, however they want to tell another story. But I mean, we're talking about one of the greatest wrestlers ever. So like there's an exception to letting him walk out with that. So yeah, it's not that he needs it, or it doesn't change anything, or he becomes overrated if he doesn't. I just think it's important, and like it's deserved, bro. This man is bloody John Moxley in it every week, bleeding and doing crazy shit and banger after banger. So like, get that man a belt, bro. You need to give him a belt one time. He needs to join that class.
At least, you know, there should have been like a trios title run or something like that for the BCC or like something. You know, he could have been an ROH champion, but he hasn't had any championship his entire AEW run.
No
and
TNT, no FTW.
I'm with you, Adrian. I do agree that it would be important for the history of AEW moving forward to have a screenshot, to have some footage of him as the AEW World Champion. Now they can go and they can put screenshot and clips of him almost, and I'm holding the champion. I'm gonna beat MJF, but you never got that accolade, so you could never truly promote him as, you know what I'm saying?
Like if AEW, you don't want the B-roll? You don't want the B-roll of 70,000 people doing the yes chant with him holding the AEW title? I'm just saying, bro, with the charade, with everything coming down and all that stuff, like you don't? Crazy to me.
Playing in the background.
Bruh.
Bro, said, I don't want no belts. Just get my music. All the money that you was gonna spend on the confetti and everything like that, put it towards the Final Countdown budget. I don't know why the hell that sounds so expensive.
Yeah, and speaking of because that, what was it? The Matt said there's like 250,000, you know, every time that they play that song or whatever.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, and going into that whole thing, like with the Elite, we did get the news that Hangman decided, okay, cool, I'll join the team. He's going to be on Team AEW. Swerve has joined Team AEW. Hangman's going to be on the Elite's team in Blood and Guts. Swerve has joined Team AEW with Mark Briscoe. I'm wondering, who do you guys think, who else could be on this Team AEW? Because it seems like the Elite has their 5.
Has Darby officially joined Team AEW?
Darby hasn't officially joined, but basically with his return, that's what I'm assuming. He's going to be on Team AEW as well.
You know, you asked earlier, you asked about like the storylines and hot shotting and forcing. Like this is one of those situations. Because like even Swerve becoming Team AEW, not to look at it from a Hangman, he just had surgery, so now he's going to be out for a year. He just had surgery last week for his ACL or MCL, whatever happened with his leg in that match with Gabe Kidd. Yeah, bro, like I get it, bro. They're assholes, but like I don't like Swerve's on. I view Swerve as like, yo, he an assassin. He been on this run, a bounty hunter by himself, like doing this thing, and now he's becoming like the main dude of Team AEW. Like, I don't buy
Company
it.
man.
Yeah, like I don't see it. And I know Tony's not getting in the ring, so I don't know, man. I'm sorry, I don't have 2 other people. I don't have them right now. I'm trying to figure out what I don't want the Acclaimed to do that. I don't.
That might be it. It might be the Acclaimed, and I'm trying to figure out like what is the end
better
goal.
Put that shit on where there's Impractical Jokers there. Put that shit on True TV.
Oh,
that's not TNT.
I was gonna say, I thought it was like Discovery ID or something.
Put on one of them. I ain't trying to see that.
I think
bro.
you're right. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Like, what's their ultimate goal here? To take over AEW and to usurp Tony Khan's power, or like, because Tony Khan has implemented Christopher Daniels as his on-screen voice, even though Tony Khan is also backstage at the shows. Still, I don't understand why he needs that if he's there as well. And then last week on Collision, they made the decision to make Jeff Jarrett the special guest enforcer together. Like, why do you need him then? Like, what is the point of introducing this on-screen character for Christopher Daniels if you're gonna 3 weeks later take his power back and be like, not take his power back, but like, now you're back on the show also making decisions? Like, I'm confused. Anyways, Ben, do you think they're hot-shotting MJF and Will Ospreay and Swerve and Okada for next week on Dynamite 250?
Yeah, well, for Okada and Swerve, I'm like, okay, you can kind of like, if you know anything about like matches that Okada has, like you can have like one match with him like on TV or at like a throwaway pay-per-view or whatever, and then he'll like turn it up so he keeps the matches interesting as you go along. So I'm not worried about that one. Okada's always good for a great match. What I'm worried about is the MJF and Swerve. I'm not MJF and Swerve, MJF and Ospreay one. I feel like that one's too soon. I feel like you got to have a bullshit finish, some type of match ending, because I feel like this deserves to be at the Wembley show. This is all in. This is an all-in match.
Probably Garcia interference. Probably. Maybe.
It'd be interesting. It's interesting because there's like this story of, okay, maybe we could see MJF and Ospreay at All In, but with Daniel Garcia being also a part of this, and then Pac also won that 4-way, and he said that he wants the international title at Wembley. So if we have a situation where we could end up with Ospreay versus Pac and MJF versus Daniel Garcia. And I think that's cool, but I feel like MJF and Ospreay is the match for All In. And
that's the money feud.
I'm confused if they don't do that, why they would do that. But then they also have All Out 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
That's stressing me out, bro. Again with
it's
this,
crazy.
Dog.
It's crazy.
What are we doing, bro? $100? What the hell's wrong with y'all? Anyway, sorry. Got my wallet stressed 3 weeks and 2 months in advance. This is absurd, bro.
It's absurd.
Anyway.
It's crazy. It's wild, man. I don't know, bro, but I don't know. Regardless, one person that we're not gonna see at Dynamite 250 or at All In London is Stephanie Vaquer. She exited CMLL this week. Dropped all of her titles. No longer with New Japan either. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'll read this statement, and I guess we can open up the conversation here because
I'm ready.
Hell? All right, so CMLL dropped this statement. It says, special announcement from CMLL and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Thank you for supporting CMLL and NJPW. Citing personal reasons, Stephanie Vaquer has elected to depart from the CMLL and NJPW rosters effective immediately. As a result, Vaquer will not compete in her scheduled match against, Uvia? At Fantastic Mania, July 13th in San Jose. Furthermore, CMLL hereby announces Vaquer is stripped of both the CMLL World Women's and World Women's Tag Team Championships. Both CMLL and NJPW would like to apologize to our fans worldwide for the abrupt announcement. And it seems as if she is headed to WWE because, I mean, as this was developing, why would she drop all these titles if she was going to AEW? I'm not completely familiar. I've seen 2 matches, both of them with Mercedes and highlight tape. The highlight tape was dope, but I'm not. You feel me? I'm not going to act like I'm a fan and I'm super in the know about this woman. You feel me? But just the firestorm and the way this news has come in hot about her arrival to the WWE, I just wanted to get you guys' opinions on it. Adrian, are you more familiar with her than I am, maybe at least? Or like, what's your opinion on this, what's going on here?
I feel a certain type of way that you'd ask the Hispanic person first, and you could have went to Ben and been like, "Are you familiar?" But that's cool, bro. I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Going back and forth on
you watch CMLL, right, bro? No, that's cool. It's all good. I got you, my G. It's all right, though. Nah, I'm not. I mean, she put on a banger at Forbidden Door. I've seen her in person for whatever that means. No, I don't know too much, but I do know that I've had a job before. And I do know that I put in the 2 weeks before, and then they said, hey, just don't come in. You good. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, things are ugly. These are 2 businesses. All these wrestling companies are going after each other, trying to be the best. And sometimes people want to do it for, it works out for their family. I don't have to move. I can keep what I'm comfortable with. Sometimes people want to go after that bag. And if WWE provided that bag and provided that platform that she wanted, like, that's the beauty that all these companies exist. You can have someone as talented as Will Ospreay say, I'm good. I'm going to go to AEW and do something. And Stephanie can be like, I'm good. I want to go to WWE. So, yeah, man, it's ugly. It's unfortunate. Like all those fans that bought tickets to all these shows where she was scheduled for, it puts New Japan and all these other companies in a shitty situation on what they're going to do. But they have more talent. Salute. They have more talent. And wrestling's in a good place, and they'll bounce back. And it's just kind of the way it is, bro. It's like you're in the major leagues and you play on like the Oakland Athletics. Like, enjoy them while you have this star player for 3 years until the Yankees come and get that man a $50 million contract that's more than the whole payroll of the team. Like, it is what it is. But it is not to like, it is like, that sucks for the fans that like wanted to see her, and it puts these other companies in a bad situation. But I'm never gonna take the side of the company over the worker getting a bag. Salute to you and get your money.
Bro, you really took the words right. You really took the words right out of my mouth, because I was thinking the same thing. Because you see a lot of people online who they act like they have stake in the company. They're like, I can't believe she did us like this. I'm like, us? Like, let's backtrack that a little bit. And a lot of people fail to realize at the end of the day, like you put it perfectly. I've been saying this for a long time. At the end of the day, it's a job. Like, people need to realize this. Yes, there's a family element to it in some places. Yeah, you know, you're living out your dream, you're traveling the world, but you're clocking in, you're getting paid, you clock out, you go home to your family. That's what it is. Like, if
you were fired, your ass will be replaced tomorrow, bruh. Like, don't get this shit twisted. If I ain't at media day for the next whatever, some other motherfucker gonna be there asking the question, bro. Don't get too comfortable ever.
Exactly,
period.
Bro.
Like, straight up.
And on top of that, like, people like don't realize she had a tryout back in like 2018. She didn't get signed to the company. She's been working towards this for a long time. And when they came along, they were like, hey, you want to come over and, you know, sign with us? She was willing to do it because this is what her dream was. It's like people need to put this in like a real sense of the way things operate in the world. Like, if you're working at like Popeyes or some shit, you opening up, you closing, you going to different locations, filling in for people, picking up shifts, all that. And Chick-fil-A calls you. They say, hey, we're gonna pay you more. We're gonna give you more benefits. We're gonna do all this shit for you. If this was a real person, you wouldn't be like, hey man, you gotta stay loyal to the company. I bet not ever see you ordering a chicken sandwich over here again. I bet not see it, because you wouldn't say that, because that shit is weird. Like
Popeyes in Canada was ass. I got a chicken sandwich and it was super dry. I was disappointed. The pizza was also ass. Steaks were good though. Steaks were good. Anyway,
did you try the poutine?
I saw it. I saw it, and I was like,
shit.
nope. I'm not interested.
Cool, but bro, it's not the wave. It's just, you know, one of those culture things. I figure, you know, they might want to.
No, they had it everywhere. And I didn't go to Tim Hortons, like their little donut shop or whatever.
You went to New Ho King though, right?
Bro, motherfucker, where's the menu? Hold up. Damn, I'm not, because I'm packing. No,
you was in New Ho King with the duck sauce and the blammy crody?
Bro, first off,
I was like, what?
That fried chicken was fire. I did the pork, the little riblets, whatever they call them, but I did sweet and sour. I usually go barbecue. I did sweet and sour. Shit was delicious. I did the white rice. I didn't do the fried rice. I did have a waiter who was like, it was her first day, and there was just some awkwardness. But the food was amazing. It was funny to see everyone like stop to take a picture of the front window and everything. I almost died there because the bathroom's in the basement, but when you walk in, you like think you're going into a bathroom and it's just like 30 steps. I'm like, what the fuck is this? But it was tight. I guess the prices were raised, but still, them wings were like, if I'm ever in Toronto, I'm always gonna go there, and not just because of like it became a new landmark for the city. I'm gonna find the menu while y'all talk. Hold on, it was
just fire, huh? Yeah, but like back to the Stephanie thing. It's really up to people's personal preference. And like Ben said, she did have a tryout in 2018. Of course, they elected not to sign her at that time, but that doesn't mean that, you know, if that was her goal, that she just gives up on that goal because she's had these other opportunities in between. I did read something on Reddit that alluded to domestic violence situation with her and her ex-boyfriend, who is currently incarcerated and might be released from jail, I guess, if she's gonna be out of the country. So, maybe she'll be safer or whatever. But he's also, I guess, really close friends with Roosh. And so maybe there's a situation where it's like, hey, I don't want to be over there and be 100%. In that situation. I don't want to speak too much on that because I didn't read into and like find any like official articles on this. But like there's just a multitude of reasons why people can make the decisions that they make. And just because you have this undying brand loyalty to this company for some reason that doesn't send you a paycheck, doesn't mean that for some reason people should, stop accepting paychecks of their own. So, salute to Stephanie. She's going to be heading to NXT. They are building I don't know, just the Avengers of women's wrestling down there.
And Julia,
be fire.
But oh shit, he got it.
Menu fire.
I never lie on this microphone. Anyway, sorry.
They gotta send a thank you to Kendrick ASAP.
Hey, real quick though, what was the rating on the food there? What was like the Meltzer rating? You give it like
9.5 out of 10. Straight up,
that's fire.
There you go.
I'm Puerto Rican, so I like to put ketchup on the white rice, and they didn't have ketchup, so I was like, okay, whatever. You don't want to be fancy. But I put the sweet and sour from the ribs on there. You know what I'm saying? So we still made it through. But those chicken wings, bro. Oh my! I was like, I get you, Kendrick. I see, he don't lie either. I like, salute this man, bro. Great taste, bro. This shit is fire. I can see why Drake got robbed here. Anyway.
All right, man. I don't want to go ahead, Ben.
My last thing I had to say for this is like, you would think at this point that a lesson would have been learned a long time ago between these three companies, because AEW was upset about it, CMLL was reportedly upset about it, and New Japan was upset about it because they were like, "Hey, bro, you got a shift on Friday, right? What you mean you leaving?" They were like, you gotta put the fries down, right? You're like, bro, what are you doing? But you think that this was a lesson that they've learned, because I remember back like damn near 10 years ago when they lost Shinsuke, the Good Brothers, AJ Styles, because they weren't signing people to long-term deals. They weren't like coming back around to get the contracts for New Japan at least. And they weren't picking them up. And they were just like, okay, well, I'm cool with him. I'm cool with Shinsuke. Shinsuke live over here. I'm cool with the Good Brothers. I'm cool with AJ. We did for them, that no one can speak against it. They're going to want to resign because the way we treated them. And then all of those guys left. You got to go back through and you got to sign people to these contracts. You got to make it worth their while. You got to do your due diligence. You can't just assume like, man, we working on a handshake deal. Everything's going to be cool, because if what she did, if a better opportunity, something that I always wanted to do comes along, I hate to do this, but I got to love y'all and leave y'all. It's that simple.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's the idea of she's burning all these bridges with these different companies or whatever. And, that might be true, but this is also the wrestling business where I don't think any relationship is completely fractured, because I don't know, money is always paramount. So I don't really care if she's burning bridges or if she decides not to go work for that company anymore, because me as a fan, like I said earlier, it's not my responsibility. Adrian, I want to ask you about this list here that you got on your screen before we go any further.
Of course.
Yeah, because I don't know what's this about. Some of these names I'm familiar with here. And,
I'm so glad.
Some of them I'm not.
Thank you for the time. Everyone on this list. Yeah, for sure. Everyone on this list, fuck them. Straight up. fuck you mean. Fuck you mean. Look, the first 5, Drain, Bang, or whatever, bro, you're going to download my whole interview and you gonna do tricks with it? You gonna cut 5 different clips? You gonna cut 5 different clips? You're not gonna tag me? Wrestling World CC, you just did it yesterday with Cena's not gonna rap again. Who do you think you got that question from? I asked that shit. the Covalent TV. They want to take the Rhea Ripley clip. Fuck them. And they wanted to block me? Nah, son. Y'all stay in y'all basements, bro. Get some Papa Tui. Touch some grass outside. Out of here. Fadeaway Media. I ain't even got to say shit. Just pull up his freaking avatar on Twitter. Fuck that guy. And then Kenny Thoughts. Here's the thing. First off, that man, I was on the run. I need to calm down and just, Kendrick said something to Drake, and I thought it was very potent, and I thought it was very honest. Sometimes it ain't that deep, bro. I don't gotta like you, bro. I saw this man take someone's picture. DTF Mania, shout out to her, shout out to Danielle. He took her picture, and then like Jey Uso was wearing a blue shirt before the Yeet shirts came out. So he went on Microsoft Paint and wrote Yeet and then copyrighted it. Like this motherfucker's Picasso and did some shit. Bro, what? And he had like a GoFundMe for a TV? What are we doing here, bro? Nah, game's fucked up, bro. So if there's any confusion, I hope I made myself clear. Anybody on this list, and that's just off the top of the dome. There's more people that could be put on that list. If you take my shit, it's the reason why now you see the Unlikely logo 15 different times. I didn't want it to be that way. Yeah, I didn't want to.
But it's necessary,
But it's crazy out here, and you have to be prepared. So that's just what happened. And also, I should have put for you guys, fuck Complex. You know what I'm saying? Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to say it. None of y'all got to say it. I'll say it for you. Fuck Complex. Y'all taking shit. We hardworking independent creators. You see my son that just walked in? I do this for him to make sure he got every Marvel toy possible. So stop playing with me, bro. You're going to credit my shit or I'm going to very easily hit the copyright. Stop playing with me, bro. That's it. That's it.
Man, I'm trying to get my son a Silver Surfer, bro. What the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about?
Not the McFarlane joint. That's like $500 for no reason. Fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah, man. And you know what? Some of y'all got blue checks, you feel me? So I know y'all making a couple little dollars. Look, I don't give a fuck if it's $17.50. You need to send some of that my man's way, you feel me? Because if you're using the content, you feel me, and not properly credited, not showing love, not supporting.
And that's to everybody, not just me. Not just me. That's to everybody.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
So everybody.
Everybody on that list. Everybody on that list. Hold on, where the clip at?
You so full of shit. You so full of shit.
Bro, it's like you talking real shit because like when I see creators stuff like that, like I told you this. I said it takes 2 seconds to like at somebody, do the research, like where does this video come from? Who did this? It takes exactly 9 times out of 10 people's names are in the corner just that you could easily be like, oh hey, like you know you could put my name on there, and I literally will go back. People can tell you, like they'll message me and be like, hey, you didn't, that was my video, like, and I put a credit under there. I don't give a fuck. I want people to know that's where this came from.
2 seconds, bro.
There you go.
And we all in this game, so we know how important all this shit is, right? And another thing too, when it comes to interviewers, stop asking questions that you don't know shit about, bro. Like for example, Shayna Baszler loves Warhammer. I don't know shit about that game. I love video games. I ain't never played that shit. So I ain't going to ask it so that I could get a Warhammer retweet. Case in point, why are you asking about if Megan Thee Stallion or Cardi B is going to wrestle if you ain't never heard none of their fucking songs? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, keep it in your lane. Stay in your lane. You can never say I asked the question and fake the funk. So, and that should be everyone's prerogative. Whatever lane it is, because there's a million ways to get it. Choose one. Just don't be stealing people's shit.
Did you ask Braun Breaker if he wanted to? First of all, hold on, fuck that. Did you ask Braun Breaker what it felt like to spear Sami Zayn out of his fucking shoes?
No, I didn't, because I saw him with the belt, and I was like, "Hey, bro, you looking kind of." He was wearing the Universal belt. He was like, "Yo, you looking kind of cozy with that belt." And he's like, yeah, man. And we were in Legion Stadium, which is I'm about to get to my plugs on what I'm working on because it's been a lot and I need to get this out there. But I got to talk to Braun Breaker. I got to talk to Big E yesterday. The Big 12 did their media day. Deion Sanders and all those schools were out there. And of course, the WWE and the Big 12 have a really good relationship. So Big E and Braun Breaker were out there and they had the Universal title. Braun was the one mainly wearing it and he wore it during our interview. Good dude. He only made eye contact with me twice because he was looking at the camera. And I get it. He's camera ready, but that always just freaks me out because, like, we're in person. But it is what it is. It was a good conversation. And then shout out to Big E, too, because we were supposed to talk for only 5 or 6 minutes. We ended up talking for almost 16, 17 minutes.
Wow.
And he used to FCW. It's funny because today's the 11-year anniversary of the Performance Center. Before then, FCW used to be at a place that now is a bounce house for kids. And before it was FCW, was where all grocery stores would go to pick up like the ravioli and bean cans, like a storage unit place. Like that's real shit. And it used to be next to a Sam's Club. And I worked and I went to school. And so it was cool. This motherfucker always used to work into the lids I worked at and the Foot Locker. Never bought anything, but he always used to walk in, and he did it a Saturday before he debuted and beat up Cena. And I thought that was always so ill. So to get to talk to him was a really great conversation. On that note, I just talked to The Miz, which I'm born and raised in Cleveland. So to get to have that conversation, that comes out tomorrow, Friday, on the YouTube. On Saturday, I talked to Gabe Kidd in Toronto at the GCW show. Monday, the Big E interviews dropping. Tuesday, the Prom Breaker interviews dropping in Toronto, along with Gabe Kidd. I talked to LA Knight, Carmelo, and Tiffany Stratton. I talked to Shawn Michaels, Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, Trick Williams, Roxanne Perez. We've been working these past 2.5 months. So please, youtube.com/AdrianCLE93, or like John Cena said, unlikely with Adrian Hernandez, if you check out the podcast as well. And I'll say this again. You guys, the one that will always stick out is earlier this year at the Royal Rumble at the 2K event, I interviewed Rhea Ripley. She made me fold in 3.5 seconds because I'm really smart with my content and I did that shit on purpose. If we was in a club, I wouldn't even give her time. I don't like white women. I'm just kidding. That's cap. That's cap. It's all cap. I would have folded. She's gorgeous. But you guys retweeted that, and that shit went viral. And one of the main reasons is you guys showing love to it. And I don't have a clique. I don't have a gang. I came into this by myself with just a love of wrestling, and the support of you guys and others in the community. Like, I really fuck with y'all and what you guys represent. And for you guys to always reach out, always retweet, and talk about some of the stuff that I do, like that shit means the world to me. Because like I said earlier, we're all independent creators, and I don't get to these places and get to talk to the people that I've been blessed to talk to, like Shawn fucking Michaels, without the support of you guys bringing eyeballs to what I do. So salute to y'all and much love. Thank you.
Brother, thank you once again for taking some time to join us here today, brother. Thank you for just completely just giving yourself to this space and the content that you create. We appreciate it. I know the people here, of course, watching and listening live, you feel me? Like, they're appreciating you here. And if you don't know about what Adrian's doing, he just gave you all of the game, all of the ism. The links are going to be down low in the description for the show and all of that, of course. Yeah, of course. And there's a couple of comments here. I just want to read. This is Adrian completely broke Ben. Mr. Always off. Jizzle might get replaced like dark skin on Viv.
Yo, okay. Wait a minute.
Anthony Davis says Adrian just made a new fan in me just off this interview, and that's fire, man. And this isn't even an interview. This is just us kicking it, man. So you feeling like, or you saying, you feel me, you didn't really come in this without a clique, without a posse, without yada, yada, yada. Consider yourself family, you feel me, because just the love that has been reciprocated from us, you feel me, between us, rather, you know what I'm saying, over this last year or so has been just beautiful, and just seeing your growth has been amazing to see, you feel me, and I'm just excited and I'm happy for you, you feel me, and I hope that you continue that success, brother.
Salute. Thank you guys so much. With that being said, appreciate you guys. I got to go take my kid to swim practice. I'm out of here. Y'all be easy, be safe. Ben, it's a pleasure to finally get to talk. Everyone that listens, keep supporting these motherfuckers, bro. We represent people that don't usually get platforms and stuff, and you guys have built something amazing, so keep pushing that shit to the moon.
We appreciate you, brother. Hey man, right back at it, man. You
Oh,
feel
man.
me? Salute to Adrian. You feel me? That was a really good time. I didn't really appreciate him throwing that little stereotype on me about him being Hispanic. You feel me? And me asking,
Hey,
I'm just playing.
oh man, hey, I was asking because you like I already know this nigga over here. He ain't seen but 2 matches. I've seen one Stephanie Vaquer match. I already know he's
Hey,
seen like
you feel
half of
me?
it.
I'm like, I know Ben. You feel me? That's my brother. You feel me? So I'm asking you, and on top of that, I was trying to go. Anyways, that was hilarious. Adrian was hilarious. He was great and amazing. Hey, you feel me? What y'all think? What's the rating? You feel me? What y'all think about that? You feel me? I should have asked him. Never mind.
We'll save for next time. Definitely gonna have bro back on. But yeah.
Yeah, man. That was fun. All right, let's get it back on track. Ben, what do you want to talk about, brother?
Shit, what else we got? What else happened? Shit.
We got this Rhea Ripley return.
We talked
about Bad Blood. We talked about Bad Blood already. We ran through that real quick. You feel me? Of course. Yeah, but Rhea Ripley returned this past week on Monday Night Raw. Damn. What is this? What happens now in the world of Dominik Mysterio? Because it took some time, but this man was folding, bro, and it seemed like it was right there. You feel me? Right there. And
the wild part is, it's just like, yo, man, that's all he needed to tip him over the edge was to win over his daddy. He was turning a freak, man. It was like, yo, that's weirdo shit, bro. I was like, yo, I beat my dad. All right, bro, what we doing? All right,
What we doing? You feel me? That's crazy, bro. And I don't know where this story goes, but I don't know. Rhea Ripley is back. Dominik, he seemed like he was really happy. He was really excited, and this look on his face right here, I don't really know if he did anything to deserve to have to look like, you feel me, the puppy dog man right now.
She should have poked him in the middle of his forehead.
That would have been hilarious. Like, I thought y'all nigga like. Just kidding. But yeah, she it would have been hilarious if she flicked him in the forehead or pushed him in the forehead, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, just give him a quick little, you know what I'm talking about? But man, what happens here without with the Judgment Day, with Rhea and Liv? I'm assuming maybe they'll go into a match with those two at SummerSlam for the title if Rhea's back healthy. I know Fightful have reported that WWE was attempting to kind of lay this story out in a way that Rhea could return to television pretty much at any point, regardless of if she was 100% ready to go or not. So I don't know, kind of in a will they or won't they phase, but I don't know, bro.
It's definitely looking like the Judgment Day is on its last leg. I think SummerSlam would be the place to set up kind of like the implosion of the group, because you can see it on there. It's 2 sides that the group is kind of like shifting, because you see it the tension between Damian and Finn, and then obviously between Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, and Dominik Mysterio. I think this is a setup for Dominik to kind of turn on Rhea Ripley. Like, he like tries like, oh, I'm making it up to you. I'm gonna make it up to you. Like, I'm gonna make sure you win the match at SummerSlam or whenever they wrestle. Last minute stabs her in the back, joins up with Liv Morgan, and that's like the next leg of his career or whatever. But I do think like Damian Priest versus Finn Balor is definitely on the line, because it's like, yo, we had the callback to last year's Money in the Bank, which is what I kind of thought they were gonna do for a minute, because I was like, okay, last year Damian was the one who fucked it up for Finn when he was defending against Seth Rollins, and now this year he's a champion going in. I see maybe that's what they do.
Challenging.
Yeah. He's challenging. Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe that's what they do leading into SummerSlam again in his match with Gunther. Something like that. It's not like Gunther needs the interference to beat him or anything like that. I mean, Gunther been slapping up niggas left and right. It's not like, you know, he needs that. But if you want to do that to kind of like push the story forward, and like, because we can clearly see Damian Priest he's a babyface. Like, there's no other, like, he's definitely 100%. A babyface. Like anytime you're like, okay, walking back what you said, like, yo, to Seth Rollins, hey, you know, you don't need to not have a title match. Like, after I finish with Gunther, I'm gonna come over here to you. I mean, that's a nice point. You know, we know you're not gonna have a belt, but you know, it's the thought that counts and all that shit. But yeah, he's definitely the babyface. And internally, from what I saw from Fightful, they said that Rhea Ripley is listed as a babyface going forward
as well. Okay, so yeah, clearly those two are the baby faces coming out of this, and I don't know if there's going to be an official pairing of like Liv and Finn or whatever, but it does seem as if it does seem as if they're working together. Cujo says here Finn and Liv do have some kind of history together, as they were the first to really take on the OG Judgment Day. Could see them continue to be allies after the implosion. Yeah, could possibly. That'd be interesting to have a, I don't know, stable come out of that with Liv and
or
Finn and Lee, or I don't know,
or
but
maybe they keep the Judgment Day name because, like, look, we already got Edge out of here. We already proved we can kick a nigga out and still keep the name. So maybe they shift out.
But who's that
Rhea
we?
Huh?
Who's that we? Because if it's Liv and JD and Finn, the only person that did anything to Edge was
Carlito.
Yeah, but the only person that did something to Edge was Finn, Dom, Rhea, and Damian. So if they're all out of the equation and it's just Finn, Liv, and JD, can't really lay claim to we the real Judgment Day because
because you keep the core members, you keep Dominik Mysterio, he stays there, and then you got Carly, core member. You can still I'm saying like you can push them out and still get back to the same amount like of people and same dynamic that you had. You have like a tag team, a leader, and you have a female in the group, and you still go forward with that. Like I could see them pushing those two out of the group and still like continuing forward with like, okay, we're still Judgment Day under a different name because they already proved like we can kind of like shift this and make it something else that we want it to be. Like the name is just like, it's just what we slap on the front.
I kind of feel like Dominik either, I don't know. I don't feel like Dominik really fits in with either side after this whole thing because so Liv's been manipulating him, but Finn sees that. So he's not helping the situation really. And honestly, Rhea belittles him. So I don't really know if Dom is ready to strike out on his own after this whole thing is over, but it's hard for me to envision him really fitting in with either side if they do split. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think he needs probably maybe like another year like in a group to kind of like to like make his star and like to come full circle because like 2 years ago when he broke off from Rey Mysterio and started doing his own thing and they moved him over to Raw, that was when we kind of saw like, okay, well, you know, he can do it. Now we know he has the ability, but we know like there's more in the tank that he can provide to us.
Yeah.
So I think like that year in another group, maybe a run with Liv Morgan, like they're like doing like the whole Bonnie and Clyde thing. Maybe that's what shifts him forward. I think he does need someone at his side for a little bit long because he like, we can see the confidence and everything like that, but there's more to be added.
I feel you. I'll go to some of the comments here in the chat. Tony says Liv Morgan is the new rated R superstar. Scott Jones says too soon for her to come back as far as Rhea, but I don't question the storylines, just predicting. That's my brother. So was Scott. Let's see. Bowden says, Mr. Biggs came back. That is hilarious. Let's see. And then adds another comment here. What are the odds that Priest retains at SummerSlam? What do you think about the idea that Damian Priest could possibly retain at SummerSlam against Gunther?
Yeah, for me, you gotta put the title on Gunther. It's like it's one of those shit to get off the pot moments for Gunther. I know he just had that long run with the IC title, but I think having him win King of the Ring and have that run and everything like that, and then just like not put the title on him, I feel like that would set him back because he's proven like, okay, look what I did with that belt. I am ready to go on that run for the world title. Plus, I think Damian Priest losing that title at SummerSlam does more for him going forward, provides more storylines and everything like that for him going forward than him retaining it. Because I know there are opponents for him to face for it, but I feel like you're just like not. I feel like you're wasting time not going ahead and getting to the Finn Balor and Damian Priest feud. Because like we've seen this bubbling up for like the past, like I said, for a year. Like there are lulls in between where they're like, oh yeah, you my dog, we cool and everything like that. But their strife goes back a year. So I'm like, this is the moment where we gotta have you gotta do something with it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm definitely interested to see what happens with this. I think that Damian Priest losing to Gunther is probably going to be a little bit more interesting to me, because I don't know. This is one of those things where I feel like, okay, you could have Priest win here and then have a rematch at the Bash of Berlin and crown Gunther there, but Gunther's not from Berlin. And SummerSlam is one of the big four. So just do it at a big show. Have him defend in Berlin. You know what I'm saying? And just move on. And then you can move into the Damian Priest Finn Balor program or whatever, and he'll be, officially looked at as a face, because I feel like they have to have a situation. And I don't know, like I felt like before Rhea came back, they had to have a situation where they like kick him out of the group, but I don't know if they can do that if Rhea is by his side. You feel me? Because
it's
she
definitely
because
he was
ass.
Facts. He was definitely holding on to the news the entire night. He was like, "Yo, I know something that you don't know," and they were like, "Yo, what is it?" And he was like, I'll save it for later. So we definitely know she might not be cool with the rest of them, and like he's the only one that stayed loyal to her. He's the only one that was like, "Hey, you got to get her out of here. Hey, what are you doing?" Like he was the only one that was avidly questioning and avidly like coming at like Dominik Mysterio, like, "Hey, this is not right. You can't do this to her." Like she gonna be pissed about it. Like he's the one that caught him in a lie where he was like, "Yo, I talked to her, she was cool with it." And he was like, "No, she definitely was not." So seeing as he's been in the one with constant contact with her, he's been the one that's been keeping her name like alive while she's been gone. They're definitely not going to get the support to put him out as long as she's around. So I feel like you got to put both of them out at this point, especially since both of them, I look at them both as baby faces at this moment.
Yeah, I agree with that. Good evening, Humble. What's happening with you? What's happening? Go ahead.
Yeah, but yeah, the Bash of Berlin, I think that's where you need to just go ahead and feed into what people are saying. Just give it the Ilya versus Gunther match. I feel like that's what needs to take place there. Like what you said, he's not even from there. Why are you gonna put the belt on him in Germany as his first like title win? Like you already got, and tell you the truth, y'all been making too many links with him in Germany. From the get-go of him coming up to the main roster, so that's kind of uncomfortable if y'all like, "Hey, yo, you got the belt in Germany." I'm like, "Hey, what y'all trying to say to niggas?" Like, yo, I remember the last time y'all was putting on him. This shit not looking right. But but yeah, man, like I think you have way too many like options with Gunther going forward and with Damian Priest going forward if the belt changes hands, just to end it right there for me. You on mute.
Thank you for that. And I'm glad that when you reset, you came back all the way these, because for a minute you was like responding like you was like the newscaster, you feel me? And we had you out there in Hurricane, you feel me? I was like, damn, what you think? And that nigga was sitting there like, all right, so my thoughts on this situation.
Yo, it's been rough. Been
Yeah,
rough.
man, but nah, let's get into it though. You feel me? Because that's an interesting scenario to lay out, and I do agree with you that they should just go ahead and switch the title at SummerSlam and just go with Gunther and tell some more compelling stories because they got plenty of them. And another one of those is I don't know, two of these guys are in consideration for Hater of the Year. Because CM Punk and Drew McIntyre just will not allow each other to breathe. They will not allow each other to get one up on one another. Drew McIntyre won the Money in the Bank, tried to cash it in. CM Punk thwarted that. And now we're in a situation where Drew gets suspended indefinitely. CM Punk is asking for him to come back, but we don't necessarily know if CM Punk is cleared to wrestle as of yet. So we're not sure if this match is going to take place at SummerSlam. Hopefully it does, because I don't know how much longer you can hold this off and continue to have them just getting in each other's way without them getting in the ring. It's been since January, and I'd like to say that the seeds were even planted in November at Survivor Series for the possibility of this feud, and for them to be able to spread that throughout this year. And we're almost in August. We're in second week of July, and they still have the bell hasn't rung, and it's compelling. But how much longer can they do this? I assume and I would hope that this match happens at SummerSlam. Where are you at with this and what they're doing with Drew and CM Punk?
Yeah, if this match doesn't happen at SummerSlam, it's like, yo, why are you even building towards it? They have to have some inkling of when he's going to be cleared and if it's going to be around that time, or else why would you push so heavily for Drew to be in the Money in the Bank match, have CM Punk cost him everything and everything like that? Like, I think they have like at least some type of knowing, like, okay, he could be cleared like anytime around here, so we can kind of like push forward full steam ahead to that. But as for this rivalry, I'm still of the mind that this needs to main event SummerSlam. Like, I don't feel. Wait, you know what? I take that back. I think I take that back. I want that. That's the main event. That's the main event in my heart. That's the main event in my heart. But I started to think about it. I was like, yeah. I was like, I talked myself out of it mid thought because I was like, yeah, Solo and Cody. That's not a strong enough main event. And I'm like, okay, but Roman Reigns coming through at the end, so that's the real. That's the real. Like, okay, we're closing out the show. But yeah, I feel like this is the rivalry to watch going in to SummerSlam. I'll say that. I like the main event. Okay, Cody and Solo, because of, like I said, for what's going to happen after. But this is the match to watch. This is the match that's been built up, like you said, literally from the seeds were planted in November. It's one of those things like, yo, you can't continue to do the promos on TV and everything like that, because after some point, the rubber's got to meet the road. Like, you got to do something. You got to give us something in the form of a match. Like, I like the promos and everything like that. The appearance at WrestleMania, him beating him up and dragging him out, all that's cool. But at some point, we need the match. Like, at some point, we can't just keep you can't just keep stringing everybody along. You got to do something. So I've enjoyed this, and it speaks volumes that they've been able to carry the storyline so far without like getting in the ring. But I don't think you want to push it to a level of being like, okay, well, they could just keep doing promos and everything like that, because at some point the bubble's going to burst and people are going to be like, so what the fuck are we doing? And it's going to exactly. It's going to be a negative outpour. It's going to be like, okay, well, CM Punk coming out to cut promos. Like, the crowd's going to cheer. That shit's cool. But you have people who are watching who are just going to be like, I've seen this before. Like this is a rerun. Come on with it. But I really, there were a few things that just like bothered me, like the Money in the Bank briefcase being wasted at Money in the Bank to push this storyline forward. I just wanted to say, because we didn't do an after show or whatever, I feel like you could have gotten the same reaction that you got when CM Punk came in, stopped him from cashing in. You could have done that with him just turning over the ladder. You didn't have to get it that far ahead and waste a Money in the Bank briefcase. Like, I thought that Drew McIntyre was like a red herring. I thought it was like, there's no fucking way they're gonna put the belt. Give him the briefcase. I was like, there's no way. I was like, CM Punk's gonna show up and he's gonna ruin it. And I just didn't like they just waited and just wasted the briefcase.
I don't know that they wasted the briefcase though. I mean, I understand that, people enjoy the excitement of the will they, won't they nature of the supposed, cash-ins or the cash-in attempts rather, but they've been doing this for like 15 years. Money in the Bank briefcases. And you know what? We've never gotten a situation where the woman holding the briefcase is teasing cashing in multiple times over the course of her holding that briefcase for because I think they've only held the briefcase for like 2 weeks, maybe tops, the women. So Tiffany Stratton can be that person to do those teases over the next year until she decides to cash in or whatever. And I don't know, maybe for Triple H, he's like, this is my first year having with full creative. Maybe I don't want to deal with the idea of the Money in the Bank concept. Maybe we want to do something else right now. Maybe we don't want to continue the trope. We've already got War Games that we're gearing up for again. You feel me? Like maybe this is one of those situations where he doesn't want to just continue to do things because they're a part of the formula. And I respect that. I respect that. Now, when it comes to CM, but you've been talking for a minute, bro. Let me just get this last point off. Let me just get this last point off.
I'm just saying, I'm going to forget
this.
I'm going to forget this.
I don't want to forget this.
I was like, yeah.
I don't want to forget this. I just don't want to forget this point.
I'm cheering you on, nigga.
I know, but I just don't want to forget this point, and I'm trying to remind myself not to forget it.
There you go.
So, more so than Roman Reigns, and the possibility of his return at SummerSlam, and that being the reason for us getting Cody and Solo as the main event of SummerSlam. CM Punk got to have a couple of matches before we give him the match, bro. Before we give him the closeout, before we give him the top billing, because this man be hurt, bro. He's 45 years old. It's different from my bro. You feel me? So I want to see CM Punk succeed, and I don't want him to be in a situation where he's in the main event of the show and then boom, he try to do too much and he gets hurt again, and then he got to sit on the sidelines, because at that point it's like you really got to think about maybe hanging it up along with John Cena, but you can't really do that because you can't get your shine when John Cena finna get his shine. But that's the only reason I say, I don't think that they should be the main event of SummerSlam, is just because CM Punk has been injury prone for some time, and I don't want them to be put in a position to have to carry the main event and it falls short, because the same thing happened last year with Jey Uso and Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You said a lot of shit that I agree with, especially the part where you were talking about Damian Priest. I'm like, about not Damian Priest, about the Money in the Bank, because Damian Priest teased that shit for about a year and niggas was calling him a dumbass and talking to this nigga all out of character. They were like, yo, when the fuck this nigga gonna cash in? Stupid ass niggas getting beat up with the title and he not doing nothing. So I could kind of see how Triple H would be like, okay, let's do something completely different and just get it out of the way a year long. And not come back to it until next year, and then we'll have something to do with it. But then I feel of the mind where I'm like, I feel the Money in the Bank, the spirit of the Money in the Bank is to springboard someone's career, and to get them to that next level. I just felt like you could have gotten to the destination that they got to without sacrificing that briefcase and doing that. I feel like you could have springboarded a Chad Gable, any of those guys in the match. Cause I was really excited leading up to it. Cause I was like, oh, you haven't had a world title. You haven't had a world title. You haven't sniffed the main event. I was like, ooh. And then they added in Drew McIntyre. And I was like, fuck. What are you saying? Stand up.
I was just agreeing with you on that note, because I picked Andrade. Because I thought, if they're going to do this thing with the briefcase, then this is an opportunity to tell a story with Andrade to elevate him over the course of this next year. And maybe by the time April, May, June, whatever, Andrade could be considered a little bit more serious or a little bit more of a main event player, But I'm not against the decision that they made.
Yeah, shout out to Jared. Like, yo, nah, I don't think we need a Money in the Bank show, but obviously that's making money. It's one of their staples. It's a big enough stipulation match for them to get away with it and be like, okay, we're doing a full show. Now, if you would have asked me, like, do they need 2 nights with it? No, they like, yo, that's the question everybody been asking. They were like, does this pay-per-view need 2 nights? Does Royal Rumble need 2 nights? Does Survivor Series need 2 nights? I'm like, nah, just like.
You know what I just thought about?
Shoot.
John Cena popped up at Money in the Bank last year and said, London, the UK, you deserve a WrestleMania. And he's not going to be there if and when they ever have that.
I'm not going to be here.
If I send you this picture of Kawhi, you feel me? Just know.
You said, man, look, man, the Clippers said it's in the best interest that I don't go out for Team USA. Y'all niggas understand. I'll come out and announce the attendance. That's about it.
Man, that is absolutely crazy, man. That is absolutely nuts. I don't know, man. It's cool, man. Money in the Bank, man. I don't know if they need it, but yeah, like you said, it makes money, so. The bottom line is always the most important thing, for real. So it is what it is, bruh. We can close out with NXT. Ethan Page is your new NXT champion. You have this continued partnership with TNA and more Joe Hendry, right? More Joe Hendry. He was Trick Williams' partner on NXT this week. What do we think about this, man? Joe Hendry.
Bro.
Somebody said, and where is it? I'm gonna find it, and because I want to read this verbatim. Let's see. A lot of people don't like this guy on Instagram, but I don't give a fuck. This nigga's funny as hell. Burying Smarks reposted this tweet. Somebody had quote tweeted NXT having more plans to use Joe Hendry heavily as a part of this NXT and TNA crossover. That was a report by Fightful Select. Somebody quote tweeted that and said, I miss when wrestlers wanted to be good and not just memes. And I don't know, just wanted to get your opinion on that, because some people say maybe, this is one of those situations where Joe Hendry is a better meme or a better character than a wrestler. And I don't know. What do you think about the balance of that day?
For that, I think it leans better into like, okay, we're doing the meme. If we remember anything about OG NXT back when Triple H was doing it, back when they were like had their original run with it, that's what a lot of niggas were. A lot of niggas was memes. A lot of niggas was gifs. A lot of niggas was like, okay, well, I saw this cool thing online. I'm gonna do it over here. That's the spirit of NXT. The grandiose entrances, the music and everything like that. And they get in the ring, like you remember, like Bobby Roode, No Way Jose, those type of guys. I feel like he fits the spirit of all, like the black and gold NXT of old. So, like, seeing him there, for me, it didn't feel out of place. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's just the song and everything like that. That's what niggas pay attention to. Like, the little shit that people like, oh, yeah, but this nigga can't do a 450 splash. Like, look, it's about catching eyes and bringing people into the building. Like, if it's the theme song that brings people into the building, so be it. It's a work rate that brings people into the building, so be it. Well, if it makes money, it makes sense to me. Like, I don't give a fuck if he's like a meme or whatever. It's just like, yo, is he the most popular guy over there? Does he fit in step with what WWE often does? The Fandango shit. You remember that? They love that type of stuff. So it's like, yo, I think he fits in well with what WWE tries to do with like making these larger than life characters and giving them these personas and these things that kind of make them special and stand out, so the crowd can like latch on to this. This is why when I said it, like when they first started it, when they did like the Battle Royal and they threw him out, I was like, he's going to be back because he definitely fits the mold of what WWE likes and what they like to do.
But what was the rating though?
Niggas don't give a fuck about the rating, bro. How did the match make you feel?
People apparently care about the ratings, though. Yeah, Joe Hendry. Salute. I think it just kind of speaks to the nature of the social media age and how people consume content. Because we're not only seeing situations like that, like this has been happening in wrestling forever, by the way. Like let's not act like this is something new. But like even like with like you look at like music. You're seeing a lot more people that do skit. Come on, bro. Desi Banks just dropped a skit with a slap. Is Desi Banks finna just be in the studio, like every week making an album? No. You feel me?
Hell no.
So do I think that Joe Hendry is gonna be some world-renowned 5-star Dave Meltzer scale Okada type level wrestler? No. Do I think he needs to be? No. You feel me? So like this is just one of those things where like you said, Ben, he fits in step with what they do so they can utilize him and try to build him. And hopefully some of these top performers from NXT and WWE make their way over to TNA programming, because I feel like we can make your niggas dope and make them look larger than life over here. But if we're not really giving you nothing but the no quarter catch crew in return, it's gonna kind of feel like the same thing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, how can you compare that to what AEW did when Kenny Omega was on their show multiple times? And you know what I'm saying? Like, are you trying? It doesn't all the way feel like it, but go ahead.
I feel like the one that they're gonna really do to like push it, like, okay, we're gonna feature you on both shows back to back, is that the Rascals reunion.
Yeah,
that's what I feel is the one to bridge the gap.
And I agree with that. The Rascals should be the one to bridge the gap. And I say this, oh man, this is fire. This is something that is a long time coming. Zachary Wentz back in an NXT ring. Trey Miguel popping up on WWE TV for the first time. I wish Myron Reed was a part of this, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, because
I was about to say that.
Yeah, but this is fire. You feel me? And I think that they're gonna do dope matches. I think they're going to have great promos. I think that the Rascals just have a great presence if you're trying to bring in a young, cool, and hip audience. They're just cool people that just happen to wrestle. You feel me? And it was dope to see. You see, like, the chat is booming about it. You feel me already? You feel me? Just because they all saucy in the ring. You feel me? And they all just seem like genuine dudes. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, why wouldn't they be the one to bridge the gap? I'm with you on that. I agree. They should be.
Yeah.
That'd be dope. That would be dope. That'd be dope. Yeah, man. That's all I got. Because I don't really care about anything else on NXT. Damon Kemp got fired, by the way.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
The good Gable brother.
Yeah, man. The good Stevenson brother.
Good Stevenson brother. That's the last name, Gable Stevenson.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Hey,
also,
hey, nigga, give your brother the spot on the Bills. I believe he can do more.
That is hilarious. Yeah, DIY your new SmackDown, your WWE Tag Team Champion. Cedric Alexander and Ashante the Adonis were moved over to NXT. Tyler Bate tore his left pec. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it as far as news goes. So we can go the fuck home. Well, I mean, we're already home, but you know what I mean. What you want to do before we go?
I'm good. I don't got nothing else to add to the show. That's it for me. What you got? You got nothing? You already said you got nothing. We talking in circles. Socials.
Hey man, follow the gang at the Enemies P3 on all social media platforms. Make sure you stay tapped in, student in, stay dangerous. Public Enemies on Patreon. Like I said, there's a new episode of the extras with myself, Ben, and CJ. He'll be back next week. I don't know, man. Just follow the gang at the Enemies P3 all platforms, and then I'm at Oh My God Graham. So beat me there, don't meet me there. Oh, by the way, I won the predictions. You feel me? You see how I don't be throwing the shit in niggas' faces when I be winning, but yeah, I won the predictions. Ben won. What was it? Saturday was Money in the Bank. Boom.
Yep.
And then I beat him Heat Wave NXT because I only got one match wrong. You feel me? Because I'm like that. I don't watch the show. You feel me? And I still did the thing. You feel me? That's crazy. You feel me? But hey, man, Oh My God, Graham, I be there. You feel me? Like that. Yeah.
Yo, before I do my
underscore that's underscore me and Ben. It's on you, bro.
Yeah, bro. I was about to lay that out. I was about to be like, yo, man, y'all gotta fire this nigga. He at the house. He at the house. But yeah, man, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at _sunwise_. And yeah, get better, CJ. I'm gonna let you have it. We'll let you have like your rest this week. Don't keep calling out. Not like yo. I'm glad he did it. I'm glad he called, because if he was a no call, no show, definitely nigga would have got written up. Definitely got written up.
He would have definitely got a write up, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, babe. But hey, babe, we'll be back next week. Make sure y'all take care of yourselves and each other. Deuces. Well, at you.
It was a week, nigga. I had the belt for a week. I hadn't had no cane rain.
7 days,
like,
nigga. A week.
Trying to say. Like, yo,
that's funny.
Man, this nigga had the belt for 2 days.
Nah, man.